Hello and welcome to Peter's Kitchen. Today we're going to make an alcoholic cake, a chocolate beer cake. Delia Smith's recipe. Just turn that off, put that on. So we need 125 grams of self-raising flour, quarter level teaspoon baking powder, 1 level teaspoon bicarb of soda, 275 grams dark brown soft sugar. So here we have the flour and the 2 bicarb of soda and baking powder. Possibly there's different names in America. And we have butter. I'm using flour and 2 eggs, which need to be beaten first, and of course the essential ingredient. So it's not Guinness, but it's stout, Brewdog Black Heart, and some cocoa powder. So let's begin by sifting the dry ingredients, the flour, the bicarb, the baking powder and the chocolate powder all together. So set the scales to 0, 175 grams of self-raising flour, and before we go on, I just want to show you what I cooked this morning. These were vegan fruit loaves. They're still quite warm, but not terribly hot, but warm. So these were for Sunday because I've got a gathering here of 16 of us for musical and poetry, a couple of hours, and afternoon tea, of course. So we've got the flour, there's some bicarb, 1 level teaspoon, here we are, and quarter of a level teaspoon of baking powder, just quarter, and 50 grams of cocoa powder. So let's just do that, and always sieve from a height to allow air into the cake, I'm going to do the cocoa powder now, although she says do it a bit later. 50 grams, so reset the scales to 0, 50 grams seems a lot. $47, $49, $50. There we are. Give that a sieve and also a bit of a scrape there. Get all the pop that up there. And then we add, she says, then simply add all the other ingredients. So butter, 110 grams of spreadable fat, so that's about 50 grams I expect, 45, 92, 102 and a little bit more. 111, that's fine. And sugar, 275 grams of sugar. It's going to be a sugar afternoon. Scissors, cut it off neatly. So 275, a dark brown soft sugar. 221, 239, 258, 263, almost there we are, 276. And then the eggs, she does say beat the eggs first, so better do that, haven't we? So let's pop them into this dish. Although I veer towards vegan diet, most of the people coming on Sunday like their conventional cakes, though a beer cake isn't that conventional. Bit of egg shell went into there, so good. And then beat those up. Let's get a fork. Give it a beating. Watch my technique. Excellent. And pop that into the bowl with all the other ingredients. And then this is the noisy bit. We get the blender, the whisk. That's right. All the other ingredients except the stout. So always pays to keep checking the recipe and the instructions. So we've got, let's just check, flour, baking powder, bicarb of soda, soft sugar, butter, eggs, cocoa powder, but not the stout yet. So let's put on a slow setting to begin with. The oven's on at 180 degrees centigrade. For a good minute. So important to mix all the ingredients well. It's very dark cocoa powder. Slow down the and then after we've done this, what does she say? Finally stirring the stout a little at a time. So it's all incorporated. Then divide the mixture between two prepared tins. My tins are 20 centimetres. You need two 20 centimetres. She asked for loose space tins. Well, I've only got one loose space. But I put some parchment paper as well as greasing the tins. Right, so then lift up the blender slowly. All any excess there we go, that's that. That's that. Now we need to have 200 grams, 200 mils of stout. So, ooh, there we are. So I better get a jug. Here we are. Pop that on the scale. Turn the scale on to 0 and 200 grams, 200 mils. So there we are. On the side of the jug, there's a marking of 200. Another 50 grams, 70, 80, 96, 98. There we are. Cheers. Shall I have a drop? And it used to be my mother's favourite, what Guinness was. We used to tease her. We used to say you need a pipeline. Right, so we're going to add a little at a time. Let's get the this spoon, large tablespoon. Could be a very wet mixture. She says stir it in rather than whisk it in with the beater. It is all incorporated. So this technique is called folding. Fold it in, where you cut through the mixture as well as stir. And finally, hopefully that wasn't too much. Let's just see how much there is in a can. There's 440 with the tan can. It's 249. So maybe I put a bit too much in there. So I don't think I'm going to put all that in. There we are. It's been wet enough. I hope it rises, all this liquid in here. Well, if I don't succeed, or if the oven fails me, or what have you. So it has played up recently. So I bought a thermometer. Let's put that in. Make sure it is 180. Oh, that's looking good. Stir with love and happiness. That looks good. Right, let's put the flour over there. So yes, the tins have been greased around the side, and I've put a piece of parchment paper in there. So let's put in 300 grams worth, shall we? Or pour it in, actually. 300 grams. Maybe I shouldn't be pouring it in. There we are. That's 270. Let's put another spoon in. So in that tin is 335. Get the next tin. Put 335 in. Oh, return to 0. Good. 335. Get the spatula out in a moment. So that's 331. That is now 374. So let's top up the other tin. Pop that on. 312, 374. Oh, that's a bit lower than what it was earlier, I think. That's it. A spatula. discard that spoon for one moment. In there. Let's just check on these, on the measurement, shall we? So that says 378. This one's 375. So a wee bit more in this one. There we are. Now that's 395. Put that there. Pop that here. 395 and 378. So it's about 400, isn't it? Clean the bowl out. Spoon to scrape off the mixture. There you are, 395. Put this over here so you can see. What I like to do then is to sort of jiggle it, just to even it out. That's number one. Jiggle this one. There we are. And I think I'll just get a tissue to wipe the side of the tin, especially that one. Good. Check the temperature. That's 360. We want a bit hotter. So we don't need to wait. I'm going to pop these into the oven in a moment. And they've got to cook there for at least 30 minutes. They are cooked when you press them lightly with your little finger and the center springs back. Then remove them from the oven. After about 30 seconds, loosen the edges by sliding a palette knife. Carefully peel back the lining and lightly place the other cooling tray on top. I know that. Now, with these cakes, usually we sandwich them together, but by doing so, that won't be enough for my guests. So I'm not going to sandwich them together. I'm going to put a lovely chocolate cream spread on each one, and then on top, I'm going to put some raspberries and maybe some walnuts on top. That'd be very nice on top of the cream. So it's more like a dessert. Yes, the temperature is now rising to 200, so that's good news. So let's pop them into the oven. On the middle shelf, 1. 2. There we are. For 30 minutes or so. Well, I'm going to put the alarm on for 25 minutes and then I'll come and use my skewer test, prick the cake just to make sure. Until I'll see you again in maybe 40 minutes time, between 30 and 40 minutes time, and bring out the cakes together. So that's the stout or beer cake, chocolate cake with Delia Smith's recipe, etc. We had flour. Do you want me to go through the ingredients again? 175 grams of flour, self-raising, 1/4 level teaspoon baking powder, 1 level teaspoon bicarb of soda, 275 grams of dark brown soft sugar, 110 grams of spreadable butter, 2 large eggs beaten, 50 grams of cocoa powder, and 200 mils of stout. And that's all mixed together, put in the oven at 170, 180 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes or so. Then tomorrow or the next day, I put the icing on. I'll do that tomorrow, I think. Thank you for listening. Hope you've enjoyed my little video. Be happy, enjoy one another. There we are. Thank you. Blessings.